This is back in the Fort Smith Visitor Center, the little museum, or the museum that they have in the old federal building and jail. This is about the only information I can find in here about the Butterfield Overland Mail Company. And the Butterfield came through here, as well as the old military road. Of course, the Trail of Tears route, the water route came through here. The Bell route went through Van Buren. Wagon. So this bottom is a freight line, wagon train pulled by mules. But this is just a little bit of more information about Fort Smith. It was the hub city back in the 1850s. So this is the mother post of the Southwest. And this was just a map of the forts in their locality. And then you have a display on the domestic life at Fort Smith, right next to the whiskey life at Fort Smith, the Battle of the Whiskey War. There's a lot of information in Fort Smith. Over on the other side is the, so then you walk this way, going through there is the courtroom. So this would be the old courtroom, and information about Judge Parker. And then over on this side is the Trail of Tears, and various displays of the history. Then on this side is the outlaw side, the jail side. Downstairs is the old jail. And right here is Cherokee Bill, the famous outlaw that was hung at the gallows here. You have a lot of displays of the information of Indian Territory. This is the 44 caliber that belonged to Ned Christie, as well as his 44 caliber Winchester. He was just an outlaw. And then you had Belle Starr, Bandit Queen. And then right here is a display of the youth gangs. This is the Buck gang. I think Rufus Buck was a Creek Indian. And then you have the Cook gang. This is the only gang that was hung here for rape, for the crime of rape. Then Cherokee Bill hanged. And that's the only sketch of a hanging of the gallows at Fort Smith. And you have the Prince of the Hangman. You have some nice, let's see, what was this? That was the youth gang. Lady Bellstar, later Desperado. There's the noose. Cherokee Bill's last victim. So here's a display of the guns. Noteworthy last words. Your cells, jail levels, and families, and crime, the stars, and the Daltons. The Daltons were distant cousins to Frank and Jesse James in Coffeyville, trying to rob two banks at once. Meade, Kansas was their hideout. They had an underground tunnel that went out to the back barn, how they would escape. One of the brothers would survive and live to tell the story. The Daltons were famous in this area of southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma. Then on this side is about Indian territory and the tribal lands. You have tools of the trade. There's William Tillman, Bill Tillman. There's another thing about Frank Dalton. This goes around, talks about, they got displays about the escape attempts and also about how some of the women prisoners. So that's it for upstairs section of this display. Just wanted to come and visit this one more time and get the information they had here on the Butterfield Overland stage. Also look at the nooses and the different gangs of the other displays.